Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back. We'll continue the Form 2 UT practice and this is practice 4. Now this is a little harder than the previous one because you have to fill in the boxes and then you have to calculate a lot of things, and you will have 2 marks only if everything in the box is correct. You will have one of these questions, and if both of the boxes are correct, then you can have the whole 2 marks. But if one of them is wrong, then you will still lose the mark. So how do we do this? Here you are given an equation. The equation has x, the equation also has y, right? And then in the end you have to find the corresponding values of y's when you are given the x's. When x is 3, let's go through this example first. When x is 3, what is the value of y? We have to find that way, right? So let's try to see if this is even correct or not, because sometimes even I can do it wrong. So let x be 3. So 3 minus 2y plus 1 equals to 0. And because I want to find y, I have to make sure the number next to it is positive. It's a negative 2 here, right? On this side, it's on the left side. So what I do is this whole expression go to the other side, and that will become positive 2y. And then here I still have a 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. Good. Then the y is together. That means it's multiplied. 2 times what is 4? That's an easy question, right? 2 times something equals to 4. That something is 2 times 2 equals to 4. And so what we do is basically this number 4 divided by 2. So 4 over 2, you can find your value of y. You have 2. Okay? So this y is 2. See? When I replace x by 3, I get the answer of y by 2. Easy peasy? Now let's see if you can do the other versions, the other ones. Here you're given that x is 0 now. So I replace the x here by 0. Okay? So it's 0 minus 2y plus 1 equals to 0. Then I have to check that unknown that I have to find. This y, right? The number next to it is a negative number. So I have to move the place to the other side. And how about this side? Because this is moved to there. 0 plus 1 equals to 1. And then now I don't need this 2. 2 here is multiplied. If I go back to the other one, this number 2. It's multiplied here. Then it will be divided, or you could say over. So that's your answer of y. Okay? Good. That's good to know if you feel it good this way. Alright, then this one. X is now negative 1. So we will replace the x here by negative 1. Okay? So negative 1 minus 2y plus 1 equals to 0. And then we have to find the unknown y, right? It is having a negative 2 in front. So your first step is to move that to the other side. Then negative 1 plus 1. Can you click calculator? Negative 1 plus 1. Or if you like to put positive in front, so it will be 1 minus 1, which is 0, of course. So how can I make the whole thing as 0? 2 times what will be 0? How do we make zeros? Anything times 0 will equal to 0. So that anything now is 2. So it will have to times with us 0. So y is 0. So you put 0 here. After both of them are correct, then you can have these 2 marks. I know this is the hardest question, maybe actually, because we have some other question. Oh, we have simultaneous equation later on, which is much harder. But till then, don't forget this one. Don't lose these 2 marks. It is still learnable, right? Achievable, of course. Now, next one. And because I forgot to give the x or y one of the values here, so we are skipping this question. Just this part. We will still do the other part, because the middle one is done, so no need to touch it, right? How about this one? Now that we know that x is 5, so we replace x by 5. So it will be 5 minus 3y plus 1 equals to 0. And because you have to find y and the number next to it is a negative number, so you switch it to the other side. And then here you're left with 5 plus 1, which is 6. Can you tell me 3 times what is 6? Yes, 2. So 6 divided by 3. So y is 2. Easy? Was it hard? A little bit maybe, but then hopefully you will get it very soon. Okay, next, because we have 5 questions for it. It shouldn't be too hard. It is hard, but then I think still doable. Here as well. Now this time you are given x as negative 1. So replace it. Negative 1 minus 3y plus 2 equals to 0. And then because the number that you have to find, it's having a negative number, so you move it to the other side. And then here, still nothing changed. Negative 1 plus 2. Click calculator, or you can do 2 minus 1. Still 1. And then now I don't need this 3. So if 3 here is multiplied with y, I don't need this 3. Then you divide it on the other side. So y will be 1 over 3. 1 over 3. Okay, that's your answer. You don't have to show these steps to me or the markers or anyone. This is just on your rough papers. Even if you write on the paper, it's still not okay. We won't deduct mark, of course. And then next one, x is 7. So you replace the x by 7. So we do that. 7 minus 3y plus 2 equals to 0. And then because the unknown that we have to find is y, which is having a negative number in front, so you remove it to the other side. 7 plus 2, which is 9. 3 times what is 9? Yes, 3. So y is 3. 3 times 3 equals to 9. Or you can think it this way, of course. Now we have 9 equals to 3y, right? You don't need that 3, so you divide it on this side. You will still get it as 3. That's your answer. Easy peasy? Then let's just continue. Next. Thank you, next. Okay, don't laugh on my voices because I don't usually sing. Okay, next, this one. How do we do this? We again have an equation. This time you are given y as some values. So you replace y as it. Okay, how do we do that? So the other things, just continue writing it. So it will be 2x minus 2. Now y is negative 2 plus 1 equals to 0. Because the unknown that we have to find this time is x. It's already positive, nothing to do with it. So it's 2x. And the other one, because it's all numbers, you can click together, calculate it. Negative, negative becomes positive. 2 times 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. And then we just need this x. We don't need this 5 or these 2. So we deal with them. If you want to disappear this 5, what we do? Minus 5. So we minus 5 on both sides. So 2x plus. So after minusing 5, there's nothing left here. On the other side, minus 5. Which means negative 5. And then we also don't need this 2, right? 2 here is multiplied with x. If you don't need it, you divide it on the other side. So x equals to negative 5 over 2. Negative 5 over 2. Nothing can be further simplified, so you just end it here. Okay, next one. X is now 5. Y is now 5. So you replace y by 5. Let's do that. X is no change. 2. Y is 5 plus 1. Because the unknown that we have to find is x. It's positive here, so no need to change. And the other ones you do because it's all numbers. And then we need this 9? No, right? So you move it to the other side. It becomes positive 9. So 2 times what is 9? You divide it and then you can check it. It's 4.5. Or you can end it as 9 over 2. It's also okay. Even here, 5 over 2 means 2.5. You can do that, or you can write 5 over 2 is also okay. Okay, now the last question for this style. This is, I know, very hard style. And it's 2 marks, but then you can't lose it because the UT is a lot to do as well. Even though the whole thing is easier than the exams, but still you have to practice. Here you have 2 different things. This one first. Y now given is negative 5. So you replace it by that. 2x minus 3 negative 5 plus 1 equals to 0. Now that you have to find x, that's already positive. Negative, negative, positive. So 15 plus 1. 15 plus 1, 16. So 2x plus 15 equals to 0. Now this 16, you don't need it, so you move it to the other side. It becomes negative 16. So 2 times what is 16? First of all, 8. And then you have a negative sign as well. So you replace it. You also put the negative sign. So it's negative 8 there. Okay. How about next one? X is negative 1 this time. So x, replace it by negative 1. Let's do that. 2 negative 1 minus 3y plus 1 equals to 0. And because the unknown that you have to find this time is y, and that is having a negative sign in front, so you give it to the other side. And all the other things just keep there. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 plus 1. And then now you don't need this 3 as well, so it's multiplied here. So if you go to the other side, it will be divided. Yes, so that's your answer for y. How about the last one? We know that y is 7, right? So you replace y by 7 and find the x. So let's do that part. 2x minus 3 bracket 7 plus 1 equals to 0. All the others are numbers. You can just click it in calculator. So 2x minus 21, negative 21 plus 1, negative 20. And then that 20 also goes to the other side, becomes positive. And then 2 times what is 20? Yes, 10. That will be your answer. Okay, easy peasy. I know this requires a lot of calculation, and you have to be very careful. When do we need to open up the bracket? When, if we move to the other side, it becomes positive. Or if something is multiplied and then you want to move it to the other side, you have to divide it. This you have to be very careful. If you don't understand this whole thing, I will suggest at least question 1, 2, and 3. You have to be very, very, very clear. Even if you don't understand 4 and 5. 4 and 5 is a little complicated. But question 1, 2, and 3, it's a must that you know how to do. Okay, so that's all for practice 4. Next is practice 5. Much, 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 much easier, hopefully. But also don't lose these 2 marks. So until now, you can guarantee yourself at least 10 marks. Wow, because the previous one was 4 marks. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.